Hello, YouTubers out there. This is Jerry Sarabia at the Movies. So today we're talking about change.org. Normally not a topic of conversation on this channel, but in this case, what do you know? I mean, I could have been reviewing a movie or doing something else, but I have to talk about this because it kind of angers me in many ways. And also this latest petition, in addition to another one, has nothing to do with change.org whatsoever. So, let's backtrack a little bit. Now, change.org is meant to be a nonprofit petition website based in California, operated by the San Francisco-based company of the same name, which has over 400 million users. And it offers the public the ability to promote the petitions they care about to potential signers, including 196 countries which are creating change in their communities. So, their mission is to empower people everywhere to create the change they want to see. Popular topics of petitions include general justice, economic justice, criminal justice, human rights, education, animal rights, health, and sustainable food. Not, let's reshoot the movie Halloween Ends. Now, as you know, of course, since it opened last week, Halloween Ends has been a bit divisive for a lot of Halloween fans, which is really kind of strange if you think about it, and I'll explain that in a second. The divisiveness, not the fact that people don't like it, I mean, that's fine. But this petition was started by someone named D.J. Jones, and they want to reshoot the movie Halloween Ends. By the way, this happened a few years back with The Last Jedi. Oh, let's reshoot this movie. Please, Disney, you know. This is not the Star Wars movie we wanted. Well, Halloween Ends, according to this guy, was not a film that the fans wanted. First of all, how many fans? There are fans that do like this movie. So what percentage of fans are we talking about? And then he says this was an origin story, the Corey story. No, not really. This is not... If you watch Halloween Ends, sure, the Corey character is a major part of the film. But really, the story is really well told, I thought, because it also deals with and revolves around Laurie Strode, not to mention her daughter. Anyway, so, we deserve a movie worthy of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise. We love this franchise wholeheartedly, and this version of a Halloween movie left us sad, mad, disappointed, and infuriated. Please give us a movie that shows us what Halloween is really about. Our apex predator. Interesting choice of words. The king of slasher movies, Michael Myers. This movie gives us a weak, pathetic Michael, not true, who needed his mask to survive. Not true. Especially if you've seen the Halloween 2018 version. When he escapes, and, you know, he doesn't really, and especially in the first Halloween film, he doesn't need the mask to kill, or to survive for that matter. But anyway, this isn't our Michael Myers. Our killer is strong, relentless, and unstoppable. Please right this wrong, we beg of you. So, 7,500 signatures are required, according to this petition. And so far, as of now, 6,848 people have signed. Why? Why is this such a bone of contention? So, now, if you want an unstoppable, murderous Michael Myers, you have roughly about 9 movies to watch to do that, to see that. So, don't accuse this movie of not having what you want when there are 9 other movies you could choose from. That's one thing. Secondly, you know, you love this franchise wholeheartedly. Just the trilogy, or does it include all the other sequels, which were terrible, to the original Halloween? Or does it include the Rob Zombie movies, which are set in an alternate universe? I mean, how far of this are you taking? It would be one thing if this was like an entirely new trilogy, meaning a new character, Michael Myers, that just emerged back in 2018, but this character has been around for 44 years now. So there's that. And Michael is not weak and pathetic, but that's not even the point. What makes anyone think that anyone should listen to this. Now, David Gordon Green, who directed this film, and I believe the other two, had to go through test screenings to develop the ending that they finally got. So he worked through a lot to get to the ending that, I don't know if it's technically the ending he wanted, but it's the ending that we got. And the ending we got, I thought, was satisfying. I don't know what else you want. As far as Michael Myers not killing enough people, if that to me is all you care about when it comes to Halloween and Michael Myers, then you should listen to, and it's on YouTube, in fact, I'll probably put the link, to an audience screening, and I've talked about this before, an actual audience screening. It was taped back in 1978 or 79. Somebody recorded the reactions, which you hear just the audio reaction, to the first Halloween film in 1978, right at the very end of it, back when you didn't root for the killers to do their thing. And anyway, what I take away from this trilogy is the character of Laurie Strode, not Michael Myers. He's the least interesting character. And if all you care about is him bludgeoning people and killing them and doing this left and right, okay, well, you know what, then that's fine. But perhaps this is not the movie for you. And really, the other two films, even though they have that in, occasionally the kills, is not all that one should take away from these movies, I think. The sequels that came before it, before even Rob Zombie did his thing, were, that is all it was. It was no different than Friday the 13th. If you get your kicks just from seeing people slaughtered, okay, fine. You know who you are. I know people who, that's all they get. But there's no need for a petition. Now, because that's not what Change.org is about. There are problems in society. People that need money, food. Halloween ends. If it's not the film you like, fine. Then, you know what? Forget it. Go see the other ones that you do like. If back in the day Change.org existed during the time of 1982 when Halloween 3 Season of the Witch came out, would anyone have even thought, even in those days, of filing a petition to reshoot the movie so that it includes Michael Myers? No. So if this never occurred before, why do you think that because this exists, that you should have a petition? Just move on. There are other movies. Watch them. There are other Halloween movies you may like with Michael Myers. Watch those. I have not liked most of the sequels that have come out. I've talked about this already. But it doesn't mean that I want them all reshot for my benefit and the benefit of fans, of which, well, clearly there are quite a few signatures. I think people sign just for the hell of it to see where this goes, not because they really believe that anything can be achieved with this, which it won't. Nothing will be achieved. The other petition, interestingly enough, is a movie you've never seen, the original, that is, Terrifier. And this is about moms against Terrifier 2. Enough is enough. We need to stop brainwashing our children with this senseless violence through movies like Terrifier 2. A disgusting, couldn't even really spell it out, an overly violent movie. And other video games like Fortnite, very interesting. This movie is evil. I don't like that term. Don't call movies evil. Movies are not evil. Movies are just movies. And children across the country are sneaking in to see it, and my son Bradley, 14, can hardly sleep at night after him and his cousin decided to see this. As opposed to Halloween Ends, which is a huge success, or any other horror film. I mean, so much of this is available. There's Shudder.com with a whole bunch of horror films. I mean, are they all evil? Or why specifically this movie, I encourage moms everywhere to take a stand against Terrifier 2. Please don't. But, then again, so far, 182 have signed. They just want 200 signatures. And this petition is more likely to be featured in recommendations, it says. I don't understand any of this. This is not what Change.org is supposed to be about, at all. And so it just angers me that people are taking the time to do this, even if it's a joke. In this case, I think this mother here is probably being serious, although what she hopes to achieve, I don't know. If enough kids have already seen this movie, and I don't know how true that is, but according to her it is, then, you know, stop them from watching these type of movies, introduce them to other things. I don't know. And if a horror movie works and you can't sleep at night, that's a good thing. That's what a horror movie is supposed to do. I mean, I thought, if it scares you enough. So this is just stupid. It's insane and purposeless. Again, maybe it's not meant to be taken seriously, but again, they did this with The Last Jedi many years ago. Change.org is for things like justice for George Floyd. It's for, like I said, people that need food. They need money. They can't find a job. World politics, world leaders, you know, things of that nature. Not this. This is a waste of time and space, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my opinion, of course. I'd like to hear yours out there, and see if you agree that we should reshoot the movie Halloween Ends. I'm still not sure if I haven't really had the time to sit through it again, so I don't know if I will discuss spoilers. I maybe should, because it's a very divisive movie. But to say there's not enough Michael Myers, yeah, I suppose there isn't. But so what? I mean, I don't. You know, I'll say one last thing. I remember that back in the day with Freddy Krueger, with the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And if you watch the first three, Freddy Krueger doesn't even appear all that often. As a matter of fact, let's not even include Freddy Krueger, although that is important, because in Nightmare 4 he appears quite a bit. And I remember Phantom of the movies, this critic who nobody knew who he was, he was anonymous, but he wrote in the New York Post back when I was living in New York, and he said there was too much of Freddy in Nightmare 4. That's a problem, which I still enjoy the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Decent, some better than others, and so on, but another good example is Hannibal Lecter. If you watch Silence of the Lambs, you would almost assume Hannibal Lecter appears through the entire movie. And the truth is, Anthony Hopkins is only on screen for about 20 to 25 minutes of largely a 2-hour plus film. So think about that. Less Michael Myers is good, if you have a good story. And I think they had a good story. I like this idea of Corey and Halloween Ends, but it's not for everybody. And, you know, I thought that a lot more people would be interested in seeing how Laurie Strode's character developed, and apparently that's not, at least for a lot of people, wasn't their interest. It was Michael Myers. Can we see Michael Myers slaughtering people, please? Let's see him decapitate people. Let's see him stab people. And that may have a certain thrill, but you know what? After a while, the thrill is gone, folks. I mean, after a while, these slasher movies, they got to operate on some other levels too. It's just not enough, you know. But you know, I don't know. Like Gene Siskel once said, you know, it's like seeing a bunch of car accidents, the early slasher pictures, and you know, after a while, how interesting is that? And it's not. So I didn't mind an abbreviated role for Michael Myers. I thought that made it actually stronger, that character, you know, in a weird way. And but I don't know. That's just my opinion. Lend me yours, and please subscribe to my channel if you like, and I will be sure to put that link for the Halloween screening, which is very interesting. You'll hear how audiences reacted to the first Halloween, 1978. It's a crucial piece of historical evidence for slasher film devotees. So, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what you hear. Lend me your thoughts about change.org and what they should, you know, what should be of paramount importance as opposed to this stuff. And this is Jerry Saravia at the Movies, signing off.